You hear it before you see it. A small, repeated cry, coming from somewhere low in the shrubbery. You crouch down to look, and there, in the grass, is a fledgling. Feathers not yet fully grown, unable to fly. It looks straight at you and does not move. There is no nest nearby that you can see, no parent bird swooping in. Just this one bird, alone, silent, seeming to wait for the worst. I need you to stop before you do the next thing you are about to do, because what almost everyone does in this exact moment is the very thing that gives that bird less chance of survival, not more. Today, I'm going to show you 4 things. Why that bird has not been abandoned. Why its parents are still watching, even when you cannot see them anywhere nearby. Why touching it will not make its mother reject it, whatever you've been told. And finally, the real signs that tell you when a fledgling genuinely needs your help. This is not a rare occurrence. It is a natural stage, repeated every summer in the life of nearly every bird species that nests in a British garden. You have simply never had it explained to you properly. Here is the first thing you need to know. The stage that fledgling is going through has a name. It is called branching, the period when a young bird leaves the nest before it can fly properly. Data from the British Trust for Ornithology shows that most fledglings of garden nesting species, blackbirds, robins, the tit family, leave the nest 2 to 5 days before they can fly with any confidence. During that time, they hop across the grass, sit on low branches, and sometimes remain still for hours. This is not an accident. This is the plan. In your garden, this means the bird you have just found has not fallen from anywhere. It is doing exactly what its ancestors have done for thousands of years. It does not need rescuing from the ground. This is where most people misread the situation. You cannot see a parent bird anywhere nearby, so you conclude it has been abandoned. But research into post-fledging behavior shows the opposite. When a brood scatters after leaving the nest, parents typically divide the work. Each adult, watching over 1 or 2 fledglings, positioned some distance apart across the same garden. They still return to feed them, more often than you would expect, but only when the area looks safe, which means when there is no person standing close by. In your garden, this means your own presence, standing there watching with the best of intentions, may well be the reason you never see a parent return. They are waiting for you to leave, not waiting for you to help. You have probably heard this before. If you touch a baby bird, its mother will smell the human scent and abandon it for good. This is one of the most widespread beliefs about birds, and it is almost entirely false. Most passerines, the group that includes robins, blackbirds, and nearly every garden bird in Britain, have a poorly developed sense of smell. They do not recognize their young by scent. They recognize them by sound, shape, and location. A fledgling carrying the scent of human hands on its feathers will not be rejected by its parents because of it. In your garden, this means that if a fledgling is genuinely in danger, in the middle of a path, right where a neighbor's cat regularly passes, you are allowed to lift it gently and place it in nearby cover just a few meters away. You will not cost it its family. You will simply be giving it another chance. Stay with me, because this next part changes everything. None of this means you should never act. There are real signs that tell you a fledgling is in genuine danger, and you need to know them. The RSPB and the RSPCA set out a clear list. Feathers still sparse or almost absent, with no down covering the skin. A visible wound or bleeding. Lying motionless, eyes closed, with no response as you approach. Or the bird is somewhere genuinely dangerous that it cannot move away from on its own, the middle of a road, or already caught by a cat. Here is the most concerning part. Data on cats and fledglings in the UK shows that this branching period is the most dangerous time of year for young birds, because they are on the ground, slow-moving, and easy to catch. If you have a cat, or a neighbor's cat regularly comes through your garden, this is the moment to keep it indoors for a few days. If you see any of these signs, the right step is to contact the RSPCA or your nearest wildlife rescue center, not to bring it indoors and raise it yourself. However good your intentions, fledglings need a diet and a level of care that very few people are able to provide correctly. I understand why you want to pick it up. That is not a flawed instinct. It is kindness, and your garden needs more of that kindness, not less. But there is a kind of care that is harder than lifting a bird and carrying it indoors. It is standing back. It is trusting that a process which has been unfolding for millions of years before you ever stood in this garden is still working exactly as it needs to. It is letting that fledgling remain with its real family, even when that means you never see how the story ends. The next time you stand in your garden and see a young bird sitting silently in the grass, I want you to remember this. The best way to help it, almost always, is to take a step back and let it be exactly what it is. And if you have done the opposite before knowing any of this, that does not make you wrong. It only makes you like most garden owners in this country. The story does not end there. It carries on every summer in every garden, including yours. Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. These are the stories I carry with me longest. I'll see you in the garden.